What if one of the most powerful foods for your heart, your brain, your digestion, and even healthy aging has been hiding in plain sight all along? Not in an expensive supplement, not in a trendy wellness drink, not in a complicated diet plan, but sitting quietly in the produce section of your local grocery store. A food so simple that many people overlook it. Yet researchers continue discovering remarkable reasons why populations around the world have relied on it for generations. And here's the surprising part. Many Americans eat sweet potatoes only during the holidays, maybe once or twice a year.
But what if eating them more regularly could help support healthier blood sugar levels, improve digestion, strengthen immunity, and provide nutrients that your body desperately needs as you age? Today, we're uncovering the fascinating science, surprising history, and incredible health benefits of one of nature's most underrated foods. By the end of this video, you may never look at a sweet potato the same way again. And one particular benefit near the end surprises even many nutrition experts, so stay with us. Sweet potatoes have been nourishing humans for thousands of years. They're affordable, easy to prepare, naturally delicious,
and packed with nutrients that support nearly every system in the body. Yet, despite their impressive nutritional profile, they often get overshadowed by flashier superfoods. The truth is that sweet potatoes may deserve far more attention than they receive. They're rich in fiber, loaded with vitamins, full of protective plant compounds, and surprisingly versatile. Whether baked, roasted, mashed, or added to soups and salads, sweet potatoes provide a unique combination of nutrients that few foods can match. But to truly appreciate their power, we first need to understand where they came from. And the story begins thousands of years ago. Long before supermarkets existed, long before nutrition labels, sweet potatoes were already feeding civilizations. Historians believe sweet potatoes originated in Central and South America thousands of years ago. Ancient cultures cultivated them long before European explorers arrived. Over time, this remarkable crop spread across oceans and continents. And something fascinating happened. Very different cultures, separated by vast distances, all recognized the value of sweet potatoes. In Asia, in Africa, in the Pacific Islands, people embraced this colorful root vegetable as a staple food. Perhaps nowhere is this more interesting than in Okinawa, Japan. For decades, Okinawa became famous for having one of the highest concentrations of long-lived people on Earth. Many researchers studying longevity noticed something intriguing. Traditionally, sweet potatoes made up a significant portion of the Okinawan diet. Now, this doesn't mean sweet potatoes alone created extraordinary longevity. Healthy aging is influenced by many factors, but it certainly raised an important question. Could this humble food be contributing more to long-term health than we realize? As scientists began examining sweet potatoes more closely, they discovered an impressive nutritional package hidden beneath that rough skin. And what they found was remarkable. At first glance, a sweet potato looks simple, but inside it's packed with nutrients that your body uses every single day. One medium sweet potato contains fiber, vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants working together in ways that support overall wellness. Perhaps its most famous nutrient is beta-carotene. This natural compound gives orange sweet potatoes their vibrant color. Inside the body, beta-carotene can be converted into vitamin A. And vitamin A plays critical roles in vision, immunity, skin health, and cellular function. But that's only the beginning. Sweet potatoes also provide vitamin C, potassium, manganese, vitamin B6, and beneficial plant compounds that help protect cells from oxidative stress. Think of oxidative stress like rust forming inside the body over time. While aging is natural, reducing unnecessary cellular damage may support healthier aging and overall vitality. And this brings us to our first major health benefit, one that affects millions of Americans every single day: your heart. Heart disease remains one of the leading health concerns in America. That's why the foods we eat matter so much. Sweet potatoes contain potassium, an essential mineral that helps support healthy blood pressure regulation. Many people consume far more sodium than they should. Potassium helps create balance. Think of it as part of your body's natural regulatory system. Sweet potatoes also contain fiber, and fiber has long been associated with supporting healthy cholesterol levels as part of a balanced diet. But here's something many people don't realize. Foods that support heart health don't have to taste boring.
Sweet potatoes offer natural sweetness without requiring added sugars, making them a satisfying choice for people trying to build healthier eating habits. And healthier habits often start with simple substitutions. One small change repeated consistently can create meaningful results over time. But the next benefit may be even more surprising, because it involves the most complex organ in your body, your brain. Have you ever noticed how some meals leave you feeling energized and focused, while others make you want to take a nap? The answer often comes down to how your body processes energy. Your brain consumes enormous amounts of energy every day.
And it performs best when supplied with steady, reliable fuel. Sweet potatoes contain complex carbohydrates that are digested more gradually than many highly processed foods. This slower release may help provide more sustained energy throughout the day. Instead of dramatic spikes and crashes, you get a smoother ride. The fiber in sweet potatoes also helps slow digestion, contributing to a more balanced response after meals. Many people find that replacing heavily processed carbohydrates with nutrient-dense whole foods helps support better daily energy and focus. And speaking of digestion, the next benefit may impact something that millions of Americans struggle with every day. A problem that's often ignored until it becomes impossible to ignore. Your gut health. When most people think about health, they focus on the heart, or the brain, or perhaps maintaining a healthy weight. But many experts now believe one of the most important foundations of overall wellness starts somewhere else entirely: your gut. Inside your digestive system lives an enormous community of microorganisms, often called the gut microbiome. These tiny organisms help influence digestion, nutrient absorption, and even aspects of mood and mental well-being. And this is where sweet potatoes become particularly interesting. Sweet potatoes contain dietary fiber that helps nourish beneficial gut bacteria. Think of fiber as food for your microbiome.
Without enough fiber, beneficial bacteria may struggle to thrive. With adequate fiber, your digestive system often functions more efficiently. Many Americans consume far less fiber than recommended. Processed foods have become common, convenient, fast, but often lacking the nutrients that support digestive health. Sweet potatoes offer a simple way to increase fiber intake naturally. And here's something fascinating. A healthier digestive system doesn't just affect your stomach. It can influence how energetic you feel, how effectively your body absorbs nutrients, and potentially even how your immune system responds to challenges. But digestion is only part of the story.
Because sweet potatoes have another surprising relationship with a health concern affecting millions of people today: blood sugar. At first glance, sweet potatoes seem like they should send blood sugar soaring. After all, they're sweet, right? But nutrition is rarely that simple. Unlike many heavily processed carbohydrate foods, sweet potatoes contain fiber, water, and nutrients that influence how the body digests and absorbs carbohydrates. The result? A slower and more gradual release of glucose compared with many refined foods. This doesn't mean sweet potatoes are a miracle food. Nor does it mean everyone responds identically. But many nutrition professionals consider sweet potatoes a nutrient-dense carbohydrate option when consumed as part of a balanced diet. Preparation matters too. How you cook sweet potatoes can influence their effects on digestion and blood sugar response. And we'll reveal the best preparation methods later in this video, so stay with us.
because one common cooking mistake may reduce some of the benefits people are hoping to get. But before we get there, let's talk about something many viewers care deeply about: maintaining a healthy weight. One of the hardest parts of weight management isn't exercise, it's hunger. The constant battle between knowing what you should eat and craving something else. Sweet potatoes may help because they offer a powerful combination of volume, fiber, and satisfaction. Fiber helps slow digestion, which may help you feel fuller for longer. And when people feel satisfied after meals, they're often less likely to snack excessively later. Imagine 2 lunches. One consists of highly processed foods that digest quickly. The other includes nutrient-rich foods with fiber and complex carbohydrates. Hours later, which meal is more likely to leave you feeling satisfied? For many people, the answer is obvious. Sweet potatoes can fit beautifully into a healthy eating pattern because they provide substance without requiring excessive calories. And perhaps even more importantly, they actually taste good. Healthy eating becomes much easier when the food feels enjoyable rather than restrictive. But the next benefit may be one of the most important for long-term wellness, because it affects your body's first line of defense. Every day, your immune system works behind the scenes, quietly protecting you, responding to challenges, repairing damage, and helping maintain balance throughout the body. To do this effectively, it requires nutrients. Lots of them. Sweet potatoes are particularly rich in beta-carotene, which the body can convert into vitamin A. Vitamin A plays an essential role in supporting normal immune function. Think of it as one of the tools your body uses to maintain healthy protective barriers and cellular communication. Sweet potatoes also contain vitamin C, another nutrient associated with immune health. No single food can make someone immune to illness, but consistently consuming nutrient-rich foods helps provide the building blocks your body needs to function at its best. And speaking of functioning at its best, let's talk about something everyone notices, whether they realize it or not: their skin. People spend billions of dollars every year chasing healthier skin. Creams, serums, treatments, special products. Yet some of the most important support for skin health begins from within. Sweet potatoes provide nutrients involved in normal skin maintenance and repair. Vitamin A supports healthy skin cell turnover. Vitamin C contributes to collagen production. And antioxidants help protect cells from oxidative stress caused by everyday environmental exposure. Healthy skin isn't created overnight. It's built gradually, day after day, meal after meal, lifestyle choice after lifestyle choice. And that brings us to one of the most exciting topics in modern wellness: the science of aging. Everyone ages. That's inevitable. But how we age may be influenced by the choices we make every day. Researchers studying longevity often focus on dietary patterns rich in plant foods, foods containing fiber, antioxidants, vitamins, minerals, and naturally occurring protective compounds. Sweet potatoes check many of those boxes. Their vibrant orange color signals the presence of beneficial phytonutrients, compounds that help protect plants and may also provide benefits when included in a healthy human diet. What's remarkable is that one of the world's most celebrated foods for healthy aging isn't exotic, it isn't expensive, and it certainly isn't complicated. It's a simple root vegetable that has nourished generations. But here's where things become even more interesting. Because some of the biggest mistakes people make with sweet potatoes may actually reduce many of the benefits we've discussed. And in the next chapter, you'll discover the myths, misconceptions, cooking secrets, and ideal ways to eat sweet potatoes for maximum nutritional value. Some of these may completely change the way you've been preparing them all your life. Have you ever experienced the dreaded afternoon crash? You know the feeling. Your concentration disappears. Your motivation fades.
And suddenly, a nap sounds far more appealing than finishing your work. Many people blame age, others blame stress, but sometimes the answer starts on the plate. Your body constantly converts food into usable energy. The quality of that energy often depends on the quality of the foods you consume. Sweet potatoes provide complex carbohydrates that are digested more gradually than many heavily processed foods. Instead of delivering a quick burst of energy followed by a sudden drop, they may help support a steadier release of fuel. Imagine a campfire. Throwing paper into the fire creates a quick flash, but adding a solid log keeps it burning longer.
That's a useful way to think about nutrient-dense carbohydrates compared with highly refined alternatives. Many athletes and active adults appreciate sweet potatoes because they provide both energy and nutrients, not empty calories, actual nourishment. And that's important because energy doesn't only affect physical activity. It also affects how we think, how we focus, and how we experience our daily lives. But there's another surprising benefit that many people don't associate with sweet potatoes at all: sleep.
Sleep is one of the most powerful health tools we have. Yet millions of Americans struggle to get enough quality rest. Now, sweet potatoes are not a sleeping pill, and they won't magically solve sleep problems. But they do contain nutrients that may support the body's natural nighttime processes. One of those nutrients is potassium. Another is magnesium, found in smaller amounts. These minerals play important roles in muscle and nerve function. Additionally, consuming balanced meals that provide steady energy may help some people avoid traumatic fluctuations that can interfere with comfort and relaxation.
Interestingly, many nutrition professionals suggest pairing complex carbohydrates with balanced evening meals. Why? Because extreme hunger late at night can sometimes disrupt restful sleep. The goal isn't perfection, it's consistency. Small choices repeated over months and years often matter more than dramatic short-term changes. And speaking of long-term health, let's talk about one of the organs people fear losing function in as they age: their eyes. One of the most famous nutrients in sweet potatoes is beta-carotene, the compound responsible for their beautiful orange color. Inside the body, beta-carotene can be converted into vitamin A.
And vitamin A is essential for normal vision. Without adequate vitamin A, the eyes cannot function properly. This relationship has been understood for decades. But what's fascinating is how nature packages nutrients together. Sweet potatoes don't simply deliver vitamin A precursors. They also provide additional nutrients and plant compounds that contribute to overall nutritional quality. Many people spend enormous amounts of money trying to improve their health. Yet one of the most vision-supportive foods available remains surprisingly affordable. And the older we get, the more valuable these nutritional investments become. Because aging doesn't only affect vision.
It also affects bones. Strong bones help support independence, mobility, confidence, and quality of life. As we age, maintaining bone health becomes increasingly important. Sweet potatoes contain minerals such as manganese and potassium that contribute to normal bodily functions. No single food builds strong bones alone. Bone health depends on many factors: physical activity, protein intake, vitamin D, calcium, and overall dietary quality. But nutrient-rich foods like sweet potatoes can play a valuable supporting role within that larger picture. And perhaps that's the most important lesson of all. Health isn't usually transformed by one miracle solution.
It's built through hundreds of small decisions working together. Yet, despite all these benefits, many people unknowingly reduce the nutritional value of sweet potatoes through common mistakes. Let's uncover them.
One of the most common myths is that sweet potatoes are basically the same as eating candy. They're not. Yes, sweet potatoes contain natural sugars. But they also contain fiber, vitamins, minerals, water, and beneficial plant compounds. A candy bar and a sweet potato may both taste sweet, but nutritionally they exist in completely different worlds. Nature created one, manufacturing created the other, and your body recognizes the difference. Another misconception is that all potatoes are nutritionally identical. While both can fit into healthy eating patterns, sweet potatoes and white potatoes have different nutrient profiles. Each offers unique advantages.
This isn't about declaring a winner. It's about understanding that variety often creates a stronger nutritional foundation. The healthiest diets typically include many different whole foods, not just one. Here's a mistake that surprises many people: turning sweet potatoes into dessert. Adding excessive sugars, syrups, candies, or marshmallow toppings can dramatically change the nutritional picture. Suddenly, a nutrient-rich vegetable becomes overloaded with added sugars. The sweet potato itself isn't the problem. It's what gets added to it. Sometimes the healthiest foods lose their advantages because of the ingredients surrounding them, which raises an important question. What is the best way to eat sweet potatoes? In general, simple preparation tends to preserve the natural strengths of sweet potatoes. Baking, roasting, steaming, adding them to soups, or pairing them with lean proteins and vegetables. These approaches allow sweet potatoes to shine without overwhelming them with unnecessary ingredients. Elisa Salam for timing? Many people enjoy sweet potatoes at lunch or dinner. Active individuals sometimes include them before exercise as part of a balanced meal. But the best time is often the time you can consistently enjoy them as part of a healthy lifestyle. And now, we're about to explore something even more powerful.
Real-life stories. Stories that reveal what can happen when ordinary people make simple nutritional changes and stay consistent long enough to see results. Because sometimes facts inform us, but stories inspire us to act.
Let's begin with a story that may sound familiar. Mark was 52 years old, successful, busy, constantly on the move. But every afternoon, around 2:30 p.m., the same thing happened. His energy would collapse. Meetings became difficult. Focus disappeared. And he found himself reaching for coffee, sugary snacks, or anything that could help him get through the rest of the day. At first, he blamed age, then stress, then poor sleep. But after speaking with a nutrition professional, he started paying closer attention to his meals. One change stood out: replacing some highly processed lunch foods with more nutrient-dense whole foods, including sweet potatoes. Not overnight.
Not within a week, but gradually, his afternoons felt different, more stable, more predictable, less dependent on quick fixes. Was the sweet potato solely responsible? Of course not. Health improvements are usually the result of multiple positive changes. But it became part of a larger pattern, a pattern built around consistency. And that's often where real transformation begins. Not with dramatic overhauls, but with sustainable habits. Linda was approaching 70. Like many people her age, she began thinking more seriously about long-term health. Not because something was wrong, but because she wanted to stay active for as long as possible.
She wanted to travel, play with grandchildren, maintain independence, enjoy life. Instead of searching for miracle products, she focused on simple nutritional improvements. More vegetables, more fiber, more colorful foods. And yes, sweet potatoes became a regular part of her meals. Years later, she still credits that mindset shift as one of the best decisions she ever made. Not because one food changed everything, but because one healthy choice led to another, and another.
and another. Sometimes the greatest benefit of healthy eating isn't what happens today. It's what becomes possible 10 years from now. There's another story that rarely gets discussed.
And it has nothing to do with nutrients, or calories, or scientific studies. It's the story of reconnecting with real food. Many people spend years chasing the newest trend, the latest supplement, the newest health hack, always searching, always looking for the next breakthrough. Meanwhile, some of the most beneficial foods have been sitting quietly on grocery store shelves the entire time. Sweet potatoes remind us of something important. Good nutrition doesn't always need to be complicated. Sometimes nature already solved the problem. And perhaps that's why cultures around the world have valued simple whole foods for generations, not because they were fashionable,
but because they worked.
Here's a simple challenge. For the next 7 days, find one practical way to include sweet potatoes in your meals. Nothing extreme, nothing complicated. Maybe roasted sweet potatoes with dinner. Maybe adding them to a healthy lunch bowl. Maybe a baked sweet potato instead of heavily processed side dishes. Pay attention. Notice how you feel, your energy, your digestion, your satisfaction after meals, your overall eating habits. Again, this isn't about expecting miracles. It's about becoming more aware. Sometimes the most valuable health discoveries happen when we simply observe how our bodies respond to better nutrition.
And what you notice may surprise you. If you want to get the most from sweet potatoes, keep these tips in mind. First, eat them as part of a balanced meal. Pair them with quality protein and vegetables whenever possible. Second, leave the skin on when appropriate. The skin contains additional fiber and nutrients. Just wash thoroughly before cooking. Third, avoid turning them into sugar-loaded desserts. Let their natural flavor do the work. Fourth, experiment with different preparation methods. Roasted, steamed, mashed, soup, meal bowls. The more enjoyable healthy food becomes, the easier consistency becomes. And consistency is where results live.
Not perfection, consistency. As we approach the end of this journey, it's worth reflecting on something deeper. The world's longest living populations rarely rely on miracle foods. They don't chase every new trend. They don't spend every day searching for shortcuts. Instead, they build lifestyles around simple habits, movement, community, purpose, rest, and nutrient-rich foods consistently consumed over time. Sweet potatoes fit beautifully into that philosophy. Not because they're magical, but because they're nourishing, accessible, affordable, and capable of supporting overall wellness as part of a healthy lifestyle. In many ways, sweet potatoes represent something larger than nutrition. They represent simplicity. And in today's world, simplicity is often underrated.
The most powerful health choices are rarely dramatic. They're usually quiet. Small decisions made repeatedly. A walk after dinner. An extra serving of vegetables. A healthier meal choice. A commitment to caring for the body that carries you through life. Sweet potatoes won't stop time. Nothing can. But they remind us that every meal is an opportunity. An opportunity to nourish, to strengthen, to support the future version of ourselves. And perhaps that's the greatest lesson of all. Longevity isn't built in a day. It's built one choice at a time, one meal at a time, one habit at a time. So the next time you see a sweet potato at the grocery store,
You might see more than a simple vegetable. You might see one of nature's most remarkable gifts. If you enjoyed this video, leave a comment below and tell us, how often do you eat sweet potatoes? And what's your favorite way to prepare them? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with someone who cares about healthy aging and living well. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next journey toward better health.